Hey everyone, it's Wowous. We're here with Heroes of the Storm, and today we're playing as D.Va. This is going to be a build guide and tutorial, especially for new players, if you're new to the game or new to D.Va. D.Va's a hero that I didn't play a lot when she came out, but I've been playing quite a bit lately, and I feel like she does pretty well in the current quick Q meta. And yeah, so at level 1, I like to hit the Nitrous. This and Pro Moves I think are the best two choices. Pro Moves gives you a little bit more speed when you're being attacked. The boosters, as you can see, basically you go right to full speed with your Q. Now your Q is those boosters, your W is this, which is like a defensive shield that reduces the damage done in that area. So that's not used a ton, but it can be very useful in some team fight situations, and maybe we'll see it get popped out here, but by far I use that the least. Try to just get out of here a little bit, pick up that heal. Our E is charging up. It's that nuke that you probably have seen D.Va do before. It, after a few seconds, I think it's 3-4 seconds, yeah, deals damage in a large circle. You can also cast it while you're being boosted to cause your mech to continue to move forward like this, and you eject out of it. D.Va has a few unique things. Oh, and you see here, mechs mode, when she dies, she gets ejected out, and her mech only awards 50% of a death when it gets killed, so you lose half a life for every death of your mech. In general, D.Va is unique in that way. Spends a lot of time up. You won't be... Your pilot in general shouldn't be getting killed very much, so you should be up almost the entire game, either in your pilot suit or in your mech. You're in general more powerful and able to clear waves and such better with your mech. Your pilot suit, though, gets more powerful, at least in this build, as the game goes on, and you can actually still be quite dangerous with it. So it's a pretty good combination of things, a little bit better than like a Leoric, who just comes back to life more quickly. So yeah, we're taking a lot of deaths here, 3 deaths in a row very quickly, but we're still pretty close in terms of levels, so we're going to just pull this wave back here a little bit. Now D.Va is got a pretty good amount of strength, a very slow regen, no mana, which is nice, so you can use your skills at whenever you feel like it, without worrying about running out of mana. Here at level 4, bring it on is pretty much the one option that you have. It causes this charge to go up more quickly, and you want to be able to do that because that's going to give you the ability to get in and out of your mech when it's at low health, and also put out some damage. So it's got a dual purpose there. One is you don't want to take a death. The other is that if you do use your E when it's fully charged and you jump out when it nukes, you can immediately jump back in. Otherwise, it's a 45-second respawn time that you're stuck in the pilot suit. And again, you're generally doing less damage in that until very, very late game, when you've got potentially, depending on how you build D.Va, the ability to put out quite a bit more damage with her big shot. I'm not sure what happened up there with my team, but we're going to just kind of keep this wave pushed. We've got our nuke filled up now, going into the objective, which is what you want. And we're going to trend up here and jump on the objective for our team. Now, on an objective, your Q is super useful, right? Because you can push people off of this objective, get out of things like Kel's thing there. And I'm actually going to use my nuke because I'm at low power here. And it's gonna take up most of this area. Now, Nitrous, you see, was right in the blast range there. He got a good hit off on me, but now I'm able to jump right back into my mech suit and put out quite a bit of damage. Now, at level 7, I much prefer coming through. Nuclear option is something that seems like it would be great by increasing the damage and the timer, but the timer piece actually makes it a lot more difficult. So it's a much bigger, or sorry, it's a much more damage area that you're going to do. But the downside is that it takes so long for this nuke to go off with that you're really almost never going to be able to use it in a team fight effectively. With the nuke on a 4-second timer, which is what it's on right now, you can at least get it off if someone on your team has like a stun, or someone's like an ETC or someone like that, who can maybe grab someone, or even in this, like Stitches, if Stitches grabs someone and pulls them back, you can likely get it off if you time it right. And we're going to just kind of sit on top of Nitrous here. In the meantime, we pick up that. We're able to get him. And I'm going to head back because I'm not at the ability yet. I'm only about 43%. Now you do a lot more in terms of charging when you attack enemy heroes versus minions. Originally, I think this has been nerfed since she first came out. Originally, you could charge up pretty quickly using or taking out minion waves, but they've really tried to scale back on that as they've transitioned to more team fighting and less kind of specialist gameplay. Yeah, I'm gonna lose my mech here. Nitrous gets a good grab on me there, but I'm able to get back.
I have you now.
Just gonna be careful because I'm at such low health, and you really want to try to avoid dying. And you can see here, you do a little bit of damage, but it's only against one target. It's at least an option though, right? Like you're at least putting out a little bit of damage. You can push some lanes. You can ping some enemy heroes, right? Where you're just sort of like standing like this and taking some shots at them and taking off about 100 per second. Now he got me at a really good time, and you got to be careful of this, right? Folks are going to try to make sure that you can't jump into your mech, and if they stun you or if they use an ability that's going to push you out of range, like you saw there, right, where it knocks you back, it does get stopped, and usually I think it's a 4-second cooldown to try to mech up again. So you're just going to be careful that you don't get kind of screwed trying to get back into your mech. And a good team, right, against a D.Va, what you want to try to do is not let her get back into her mech. You want to save your stuns, save your knockbacks, things like that for that time. And I'm actually going to nuke here, although that may not have been a great decision on my part. Actually, it turned out okay. There's Nova. And at level 10, we take Big Shot. You see here, it's like a one-time shot, 3-second cooldown. And you see in a straight line like this, you do damage like that. It's about maybe a 2-second cooldown.
I'm impressed.
We're gonna just keep pushing this lane forward and do as much damage as we can. We're gonna mech back up and just sort of sit on top of this for the moment. There's ETC. Don't want to take too much damage from the enemy fort. And see here, when you're pulling this lane back, right, if you keep them in a line like this, you can essentially, you want to try to do damage to as many of them as possible. So sometimes it requires you to stand off to the side. You just got to be very thoughtful about how this line works with this kind of awkward means of shooting. And then you want to use your Q to bounce off of enemy heroes and get them out of position. Also very helpful, like when they're retreating or things like that, you can push them in the wrong direction if you can loop in front of them. And we might have an opportunity to see that in this game. We'll see. But yeah, see, you want to be able to just try to hit as many of these folks as possible at once. And you can see here, it's charging very, very slowly when I'm doing these kind of slow mini waves. At level 13 here, I would take emergency shielding. This gives you a brief respite. If you're about to die in your mech, it's going to give you a shield and actually put you into like a protect for about 2 or 3 seconds. Just enough time to get away sometimes. Now other times you're going to die anyway, like if they keep the damage up on you or you're in the middle of the team fight, you're going to jump out, but it just kind of keeps you alive for long enough to sometimes get off a booster or do enough damage if you're kind of one-on-one against someone and maybe they think that you're both really at low health and then all of a sudden your shield pops up. And that's not the real Nova, so we're going to just sit on the keep here. You can also use your boosters on the enemy base. The enemy keeps, and there's that shield you see. Now with your R, the key is to kind of lead where they're going to go because you have that delay in when it shoots. It does quite a bit of damage though. And you see there, especially when you get something like a stun off, it's a really great opportunity to use your big shot. Or if you can get folks in a line like here, you can do quite a bit of damage. You want to be able to hit hopefully multiple heroes with it or multiple minions with it. It's not as effective single target, but it can be effective against someone like a Nova, right, who doesn't have much health. If you can get one big shot off on her, it's going to take out a good chunk of her health. In the meantime, I'm going to just use it on this key here. And again, you see it does quite a bit of damage to the Nova. And a good stun there. What you saw there, right, was that I wasn't able to get out of the way fast enough. I was trying to get into my E using my call Mac, but they got me in a good, just a good stun, and that was just some bad timing on my part. This Valir is in trouble. They need to just back out. You know, they're down. We're down at that point 3, 4 or 5 versus 2, right? And now we're back to the same position again, where we're down to 5 versus 2. So we won't be able to get this objective. And I even have to be careful here. But the goal is going to be defensive. And I'm going to hold off on my E for this second, right? We're going to grab Dash's pilot, and I'll show you that in a minute. But we're going to see if we can maybe catch it here. It's a little bit far back. I probably should have done it further out. But I can jump right back into it. See if we can just take out these minions really quickly to push this lane forward on top of folks. Shield goes up. The shield has a 12-second or 13-second cooldown too, just so you're aware. So if you can stay out of battle, even at low health, I'm actually going to back in Fountain real quick. You're going to have another opportunity to do it again. And then we're going to use our dash, as you see there, just kind of gets you out of the way. And now we get them kind of trapped back there, which is great. Oh, so close to getting Junkrat, too. Just if Junkrat had moved down just a little bit, we would have had him. I'm just trying to shield them a little bit because I have full health. And I'm going to nuke right on top of this because I should be able to take it out.
Excellently done.
And it just gets those tanks going, right? So like, you know, if you can use your nuke and do that little bit of extra damage to take out the enemy fort, it's a good opportunity there to get this lane pushed a little bit, especially because the next objective's down bottom. So this lane's going to automatically push where our fort is up and theirs isn't. So you want to take opportunities to use your E as a siege weapon from time to time. You see folks starting to rotate down a little bit. We're going to switch here, back into our mech. And then we're going to shift down. Oh, we got them coming up to us, I guess. A good stun they got off. I don't know if that was a super effective time for him to use his ultimate. or heroic, but
You've eliminated the fort.
we'll see if we can't get back. That's a good... We got on the right side of Junkrat's mine there, although I lost a couple of my teammates, which is not great at all. We'll let Junkrat sort of do his siege thing over here.
I'm going in. You lose.
And you gotta be really careful when you're in pilot mode like this. I just need to get into mech. And I'm gonna push them all back on top of this. I need my team to rotate up here pretty quickly. I gotta get my mech nuke going off. Get them at least away from me. Jump back in.
Access terminal online. Secure it to activate the protector.
We're gonna try to quickly take down these so they don't push this lane any further. And now we head south. So in your pilot mode, you can also jump on your mount, right? So you don't need your mech necessarily. And actually you go faster than your mech. So if you got a mech saved up like this that you're waiting to jump into a battle on, it may make sense to jump on your mount instead.
You lose. Torpedo eliminated.
Now we're going to grab Poo 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 at level 20 here, and you saw there, you get a couple of shots off with it now, which means that you're going to deal a lot more damage. See if we can't get back on the objective. We got ETC and Junkrat over here. Push Junkrat off. He puts down his stun, and our boosters will be up in a second. We're able to push back Junkrat with it. So now we've got a full team wipe. So we only need to keep one person on the objective, and then we start pushing this lane so that we can push as far as possible. Always a nice compliment when someone asks you if this is your main character, right? D.Va is not my main by far. If you haven't watched my other videos, I play my main characters. I play Raynor, Zul. I'm a pretty decent Varian. Who else have I been playing? Thrall. I'm pretty good at. I'm pretty good at Nova, although I'm not. I played Nova an awful lot. So the old Nova from beta. I played Nova way a lot. I used to play Sylvanas a lot, but I don't play her anymore. So some of the old builds of characters I played a lot more and leveled them up. But those are some of my mains that I spend a lot of time on. Johanna is probably my best tank. I'm probably going to put up a Murky video. I've been playing a lot of Murky. I'm pretty good with Murky as well in terms of just something different. I'm going to nuke here, see if I can't take this down. And I'm going to quickly jump back in my mech because they're putting out a lot of damage, and in that situation I can't afford to get killed in my pilot suit. We need to try to take down as many of these forts as possible. This is not going to put me in a good position here. I jumped out of the way of his hook. And we're gonna just sit on this, right, and try to take this out between us and the what's it called? I thought I might be able to booster him to Cal right before his thing, but we were close, but just like a millisecond too slow. And we're gonna just sort of like absorb a lot of damage, kind of running around like this, and just letting our lanes push. Now we're gonna start big shotting on him with the pew 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 add-on. Get this lane pushed. Dash. Whoosh. Just barely got out of that. Everybody wants a piece of D.Va.
You have toppled a keep.
And just keep putting on damage, right, on top of this this core. And we jump right back in, right? And you're just harassing, right? It's just annoying. Like, they can't get their shields back up on their core the longer we do this. It's causing them to be, I'm sure, frustrated, right? But it's all kind of a game of how do you get this core down to 0 by not letting its shields come back up. And just like that. So that's hopefully how you see how I play D.Va. Hopefully it was an enjoyable match. We did pretty well here. 3.5 deaths, which isn't too bad. You're going to end up taking some deaths, D.Va. A lot of siege damage. Pretty good experience. 2 kills, 25 assists, though, out of 38. So we were involved in a lot of those team fights. Nice MVP, nice game by Jaina. You see here we get the Siege Master, and very kind of someone to vote me up. So hopefully you like this content. If you do, like and subscribe to the channel, and thanks so much for watching.